many people have so many things in their craft room. Sometimes they don't know where to begin. But there's also, on the flip side, some people that don't have a lot of stuff in their craft room and think I can't make cards. Well, I'm making these 5 cards in today's video using just 5 supplies. It's true. You want to see? So the first background I'm going to make these are the supplies that I'm using. I've got a stencil, an ink pad, a blending tool, a water bottle, and some glue. So I'm using the actual packaging of the stencil to attempt to create this line to kind of divide the cardstock. I'm using white cardstock on every single card. Now, the focus of this video and the 5 supplies is to make your card backgrounds. I will be reaching into my magic mug as a bonus, and if you're unsure what my magic mug is, I'll show you in a second, but I've also got a video that I will put in the description that talks about all these time-saving hacks for making your cards, and it really pulls together these cards so easily. So here's the stencil that I'll be using. So I ink blended on one half, and then I'm stenciling on the other with that foam blending tool, which is one of my 5 supplies, as is the stencil and the ink pad. And here's a look at that background. And then I'm reaching into my magic mug to pull out a pre-cut sentiment that I already have, and I'm using the glue, that is one of those 5 supplies, to go ahead and adhere that down. And here's a look at that finished card. Let me show you my magic mug in action. I can't talk. It just holds all of my die cuts and colored pieces and sentiment strips. Everything I do or anything that's left over from another project, I put in this magic mug. And I always dip into this to create my card backgrounds. It's like magic. So anyway, let's move on to number 2. I'm using the ink that was on that stencil to basically stamp with that stencil. Since I couldn't pull in a scratch piece of paper, I'm using that packaging again to press that image into the cardstock. And again, reaching into the magic mug, doing a little bit of ink blending with the leftover ink on the sentiment strip. And I'll also go around the edges of the cardstock here just to tie it together. This is a very simple, easy peasy card, I tell you. Easy peasy, pumpkin squeezy. Okay, let's move into number 3. I'm going to be doing some ink blending just on this entire background. I am not being easy. You can see all of those smudge lines. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to ink blend up the wazoo. While I'm doing that, I do want to take a moment and thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I love Skillshare. You know I do. Jane Davies is my recent fabulous artist find. I have created all of these animal prints based off of her lessons over on Skillshare. I'm now dabbling into florals and all kinds of stuff. I have a link below. The first 1,000 people to click that link will get a Skillshare premium membership for free. And if you do decide to hop on the bandwagon, it's under $10 a month. All right, so back to the card. Once I've got that ink blended on there, I'm just flicking it with water. My water bottle is part of my 5 supplies here. And then I'm going to allow those water droplets to dry, cleaning my surface as I go, as always. If I don't, I get smudges all over my cards. So once this is dry, I dip into that magic mug, and these again are pre-colored and die-cut things from either I was coloring and die cutting during watching a binge on Netflix or whatever, I don't know, but all that stuff goes into that one ginormous mug, and I'm able to pull this together so quickly. So again, another background you can do with 5 supplies or less. Let's go on to number 4. This, by the way, this is a new ink from Catherine Pooler called Sea Glass, and I love it. So that's one of my 5 supplies. The ink blending tool is one of my supplies. And now I'm creating these little dots all over the card. It kind of looks like bokeh, if you will, or bouquet or bokeh or whatever. And then I'll take that stencil, one of the 5 supplies. You're sick of me saying that. You know what my 5 supplies are by now. And then I'll just go in and do a little partial stenciling there. And then I've got this big die cut in the mug. I'll go ahead and use this glue. This is my all-time favorite glue. It's the only glue I use. It replaced all my runners, all my other liquid glues. This is it. This is all that's happening. This is my baby. And I'll just go ahead and glue that down. The glue goes on white but dries clear. I made a hot mess. Again, I'm using the packaging of the stencil to push the die cut in place. I'll dab off any of the glue that was oozing out the sides, and bada bing, bada boom. Let's move on to number 5. Again, creating little dots just in the center. This is kind of wet. I think I watered down the ink just a little bit, or I dampened my blending tool and created those little dots. It's a nice little focal point for your background. See? See, you can make all these backgrounds in under 5 supplies or less. 5 supplies or less. Forgetting about the magic mug for a second, just the backgrounds you can make 5 supplies or less. And this is going to be using the ink blending traditional style, going in and blending this beautiful stencil from Keren Tamir's made by Joggles. And that's that. Again, you know it, magic mug sentiment. Boom, boom. Look at all these cards I created. 5 supplies or less, all these backgrounds, right? Magic mug, super, super duper time-saving hack. I gotta tell you, I'll be sure to link to that entire video. I've got a whole bunch of time-saving hacks for you to create pulling together cards very easy. Let's take a look one more time at Max. Hi, Max. Boo. How? You want to try to shake for everyone? Say hi. Hi. Follow me. Subscribe to me. Oh yes, I'm so excited. Do it. Do it.